All right, good morning. Hey, welcome all you viewers out there. It's good to be back in the saddle. Seems like I haven't been on air for about 2 years, but hey, I'm back here ready to get rolling. Have an excellent guest for you tonight. We're going to roll a series out where we're going to talk to some of our politicians, our local politicians who are already in office, our politicians that are running for office. And so today, I get the pleasure of interviewing Miss Nena Bailey. Nena, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, JJ. It's good to be here.
Good. It's always a pleasure having you. Now, it's funny. I know you and all the different hats that you wear. We're in a committee, Rainey, the Realtors Association of Northeast Indiana. I know you as a realtor. I know you're with Black Expo. You do things at the Urban League. You don't have enough hats. Tell the people what office you're running for.
Absolutely. I am actually running for Allen County Council at Large. This is my first run, but I'm really excited. Gotten really good response from the community. Everybody is looking for change.
All right, you got that right. Now, a lot of stuff we hear about county council, we hear about city council. What's the difference between the two seats?
The difference is city council deals with the city issues. The county council will deal with the budget of the county, which is they will set the tax rate for the county. Would be over the jail, the courthouse, the county issues. That's what the Allen County Council is not. So everybody thinks that city council and county is the same. They're like, are you running against Michelle? No, I'm not. It's a completely different entity, which is for the complete county.
Okay, well, good. And that's exactly why I asked that question, because you're exactly right. I hear that often people are kind of confused and don't know the difference. When the last time we took civic class in high school,
Right.
so that's why I asked that. And you bring up a great point. People asking, are you running against Michelle? We know we have, Sharon Tucker has now become mayor.
Absolutely.
We have Miss Booker, who has just got on county council. There's a theme going. We got female African Americans
Absolutely.
in this city in politics. I mean, did you guys get together? Has it been a meeting that speak on that?
No, actually, I have been working with Michelle and Sharon on their campaigns for years. I saw Michelle when she came. She moved back here from California, and she decided to run for city council. That time she did not. She came up short just a little bit, but I was with her from the very beginning. So she didn't stop there. She just kept going, and she won her first term, and she was reelected. As a precinct chair, I was one of the individuals of the 97, but it was only 92 people that actually voted, who was able to vote our current mayor, Sharon Tucker, in, which was awesome. That's why it's so important to vote.
Okay, awesome. And see, you didn't just like I'm bringing Sharon on next month, and that was one of my questions I was going to ask. How did she get voted in the mayor? And you just kind of answered that question for me.
Absolutely. We were all so when you sign up for different positions or you're asked to serve like as a precinct chair, who would have thought that we would have had such a major task of electing our next mayor? When women vote and when African Americans and when blacks vote, things happen. Things change, and you can change the scenario.
Okay, and that's an interesting topic. You're exactly right. When African Americans vote, when young people vote,
Oh,
period.
absolutely.
How do you get that message? What do you tell a young person? Because I know I work with young people, and they hit 18, and we're talking about voting. A lot of them say it's not going to make a difference. They don't care about us. How do you convince these voters, the new wave guys?
Absolutely. A lot of the young people think that there's no one listening. That's why you need politicians to let them know that their voice matter. Um, we need to get like different organizations, our churches, and everybody to let them know the importance of voting. When I grew up in the South. In the 60s, right? And my parents were marching in civil rights movement. And so I could actually see them doing voter registration. What they did was they galvanized the community. So that's what we have to do, let the young people know that their voice matters, that they matter, that, change only occur when they get involved. So there's a lot of organizations right now, the NAACP, IDAC, which is a black caucus in the Democratic Party. They're out recruiting and trying to get young people registered to vote.
Okay, awesome. I was going to ask too. You've been a realtor for what, 27 years?
No, actually, I've been a realtor for 31 years.
31.
Yes,
okay.
and I've owned my business for 25 of those years.
Okay.
So in Atlanta, I had a really large real estate company. And then the recession took place, like in 2008, which changed the picture a little bit. So, and then I moved back here in 2014. So I was going to franchise my real estate business. So I was able to walk right in, and open my company here.
Okay, awesome. So you have the business background, and then we all know with business comes a little bit of politics.
Oh, yes.
How did you step off into politics? What drove you to go down that avenue?
I really, really think it was from those moments that I saw my parents and grandparents marching for equal rights. They were marching for things like the right to live where they wanted to live, or to vote, just basic human needs, So at that point, I'm marching as a child with signs saying, we will not go back, as a young woman, as a child, seeing this happen, So I think really that's where my advocacy for helping others started.
Okay, awesome. So if I threw a name at you like Shirley Chisum, what does that mean?
Shirley Chisum was the first woman who actually ran for president. That was years ago. She was active, very active, and other names that I know is like Hosea Williams. Those were influencers for me. Martin Luther King, my parents and my grandparents would march with them in Atlanta because we were about 30 miles south of Atlanta. Okay. So just seeing them put in the work, and their care for their other humans is, what drives me, really.
Okay, good, awesome. Because I know that there's My Love, Condoleezza Rice. When we talk about female African Americans in politics,
right?
I just wondered if there were influences on you, and actually, you just answered that with Chisholm. I grew up, being told, and I've said this before, on our platform that in my household, we talked all history, so I was aware of these folks coming up.
Right.
So when I see this push and all these female African Americans in these positions, A, you're qualified, to get the job done.
Absolutely,
but then B, that is history. This, there was a time when that was unheard of.
When you could not vote, right?
Correct,
and I would just see, even as a child, seeing men hold up signs that say, "I'm a man." Something simple as that, or I'm human, So I just feel like I want to be of service to the underserved and the unvoiced, just to let them know that they're not alone and that I'm here for them, especially in this community.
Okay, awesome. And you graduated, I know you graduated from. Tell the people where'd you graduate from.
Southside.
All right, Southside. So let's hey, I love that. And again, we've talked about, stigma and things on the south side of town.
Right.
And, the progression and people working to bring stuff back to where it used to be and make things how it was.
Right.
I'm loving with the things that you're saying. And not only are you talking about making change, you are a true servant leader.
I love to serve people.
I
really do.
I mean, it's evident in the different organizations that you're a part of.
Right.
So with that, what tell the people what's the difference between local government and federal government? Because I say that there's a lot of people out there right now that's looking at the two candidates that we have running for president.
Right.
And it's like, I don't like either one of them.
Right.
I'm not going to vote. What do you say to somebody like that?
What I would say is you have to actually study the candidates. You have to decide what is going to help our community. Since I've been running, a lot of people are saying you shouldn't talk about state issues or federal issues, but there's no way that you can talk about local politics without involving state issues and, you know, federal issues. You have to really decide, you know, I am a Democrat, so of course I'm going with Joe Biden, of course. I just see the Republicans, they don't seem to include us. It's about certain groups that they're representing. I want to be a politician for all people, not just my party. You know, when you represent, you got to represent everybody. But you have to decide, do we want to go back to where we were, you know, 4 or 5 years ago when there was chaos every single day? The chaos really it's not on a consistent basis as it was before. So you have to study your candidates, make sure that you're voting for the person that you think is best for the job.
Gotcha. And not to mention, I mean, you mentioned the marches and things of that nature back in the 60s. Your vote is your vote.
It is.
So, I mean, if you choose not to take advantage of that vote, you're giving that to somebody else,
Right.
basically. You know, so why not go to the polls?
Absolutely, because if you don't vote, I'm going to make decisions for you.
Correct.
So when you vote, you have your own voice. And every vote really does matter. You know, a lot of elections, we've seen it come up short 20 votes or 100 votes, you know, so it makes a big difference.
Yeah. Here's a question I have for you, too. In my research and, you know, getting prepared for the different political candidates that come on,
Right.
one of the things that I noticed in our state, in our city, I've seen, you know, Democrats that have won the nod for these different seats in our
Right.
government. And they've won, you know, for example, there's a position, the candidate won, had 130,000 votes. I looked on the Republican side, their person won with 400,000 votes. When you hear stuff like that, how do you combat that
How do you
gap?
bridge that gap?
Yes.
What I have to do, because even during the primary, I noticed that the Republicans, because this Indiana really is a Republican state, but you saw with Michelle's campaign that she won the vote. So people saw her as the best candidate out of the Republicans or Democrats to secure that seat. So what I have to do really, I've got to get out to those cities like Woodburn. So as a county council, you'd have cities like Woodburn, Leo, you know, just quite a few of the other cities. I need to just get out there and talk to people and let them know that I'm there for them as well. I've been talking to people, you know, just ask them, what is it that you need, people in Woodburn? And they'll say, I'm going to vote for you. I met a couple yesterday. I was at an event for Beth White, who's running for Attorney General, and they had never met me. So, of course, I'm saying hello to everybody in New Haven. And I just introduced myself, told them my platform, and they said, we're going to vote for you. And I was just like, let your friends know. Can I put a sign in your yard? They was like, absolutely. So you just have to get out and let people know who you are. So I don't want anybody to vote for me based on the color of my skin. I want them to vote for me because of my character and what I bring to the table and how I can help this city and county.
Yeah, that's a great answer. You're exactly right. That's exactly what it's going to take. So tell the people, who are you, though? Who are you? Tell them. This your...
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. Well, I'll tell you who I am. My name, again, is Nena Bailey, and I am running for Allen County Council at Large. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a Christian. I believe in just services for everyone. I think that everybody matters. What's really important to me as running as a councilwoman is mental health for our county. The jail system has been in a turmoil, of course. So my goal is to bring a platform to the jail that would help with mental health and substance abuse disorders. When you address those issues, you do not have the recidivism rate that you would have if you do not address the problems. Oftentimes, people are going back into the system because there's nobody to help. Our jail will, when people leave, they kind of just open the door and they let them out, never really addressing what is going on with that person or how can we help them, to really transition back into the community. I want to make sure that your tax dollars are protected, that there's total transparency. I don't want to ever see the jail situation come up and the community or the public finding out what's happening after the fact. I want for people to be involved so that they know that their voice matters. I'm just a person for the community. I work with the homeless community. I'm a volunteer. Oftentimes I'll get different organizations that I work with to go down and we'll feed the homeless. I mean, we can't do it all. So the county definitely needs to help with our homeless population. If you've ever rode down our street, and you'll see there's so many people that are displaced or homeless or our veterans who really need the support, not only of the rescue mission or the churches that are feeding them, but our county needs to take some responsibility for helping our citizens as well. So I just want to make sure that everybody's, covered, that we are putting people above politics and people above infrastructure. That's my goal, and that's who I am. And I have a son. My son passed from gun violence, which is really, it's a touching situation. When I see African Americans, killing each other or shooting, I just feel like we have to fight for them like we fight for. The other day, it was unfortunate that a mother lost her child, but we need to fight for every child. Everyone that has lost a loved one to gun violence, we should stand with them as well. We need to come up with solutions in our community to get out and talk to our young people, tell them, to put the guns down, to, when you're stopped by a police officer, just abide by what they're saying. If they're saying just put your hands down, young people. We do not want to lose you to police shootings or gun violence by your peers. So that's really important to me, trying to come up with a solution for our community to stop gun violence and, just help our young people and to be there for them.
All righty. Hey, that was powerful. And I listened to you and you speak. It's very sincere. Mm-hmm. You sound like somebody that grew up in the community.
Right.
You've served the community, and I believe you mean what you say. What is your strategy? I mean, there's people that talk about politics, and the only problem with politics is politicians.
Right.
You don't strike me as a politician, and that's really what a lot of people are looking for. Honestly, there's a person that got voted in office because that's what people were tired of. Politicians,
right?
Just
saying what's popular.
Correct. So, what is your strategy? How do you navigate those waters? Because you get in your position,
right?
And you have a lot. You have an agenda that you said things that you believe in,
right?
But there's going to be folks that are politicians. How are you going to get things done? I guess.
Well, what I would like to do, like in my first 90 days of being elected county councilwoman, I would like to have like a town hall meeting, countywide, to find out what the needs are of the people. You hear politicians often telling you what their agenda is, but how can you serve people without knowing what they need or what goals they have or what concerns they have? So my goal really is to find out what the people are wanting. Of course, it's a job that I've never had, right? So going in, so I have to study my craft. I have to be aware of the issues and be methodical and thoughtful in making a decision, by voting on different issues that are brought on, from our commissioners. Because there will be 7 county council people, and then you have 3 commissioners. So the council, again, deal with the budget of the county. But I just want to make sure that the people's voice is heard and addressing the issues. So as I've been going out into the community, I've been just asking people, what is it that you want, our county to do for you? I've heard things as Woodburn. They said they want a park, simple, a park. Let's not spend wasteful spending on things that are not, that the people do not want,
Yeah.
Just address the issues. And then again, in New Haven, they said that their roads are bad. The infrastructure is deteriorating. So, and with me, there's certain areas that I can do as a councilwoman and that I can't. But with my relationship with our wonderful mayor, our councilwomen, Michelle and Riley Booker, can you imagine if we worked together as a team, the things that we could get done for this city and for all people, not just certain areas, but have equal access to county resources for everybody?
Gotcha. And again, that's beautiful. I love that vision, that dream. But now, like you just said, you never been in that position.
No.
There are going to be some rough veterans that, hey, I've been in politics for 50 years.
Oh, they do.
Why am I getting ready to listen to you? Who are you? This ain't how we do that, young lady. Think of Shirley Chisum. Those are things that she faced.
Oh, yeah. They they kind of always are looking for ways to say, I got you moment,
Yeah.
Everybody's always looking for an I got you moment, But I'm just ready to take it on head on, That's the best way to solve problems, just like the incident the other day with the police shooting. Our mayor took it on. She took it head on. She addressed the issue. She gave, because that could have been a really complicated thing in her position, being an African American woman, and the leader of our city, who we need our police officers as well. So I think she addressed it in a way that worked for everyone, And again, I feel so bad for the parents, and I know what they're going through. And for those parents who have lost loved ones, my heart goes out to you, because I am a mother who has lost their child as well to gun violence.
Gotcha. It's funny you bring that up, because you're exactly right, and that's the things that I told people in my circle.
Right.
I thought, Ms. Tucker did a great job. Like you said, came out, made a statement.
Right.
Didn't overstep this way, didn't overstep that way. It wasn't an emotional statement. It was a
factual statement.
There you go, factual. We're going to let the investigation play out.
Right.
She let it play out, and she never backpedaled.
Right.
We're going to release the footage. The officers are going to look at it. The department's going to look at it. Then it's going to the family.
Right.
Then to the public.
And she didn't hold the video for months and weeks and make excuses of why she didn't. She brought the video right out and said, this is what we see, this is what I saw, and this is what everyone's going to see, Again, I just encourage young people, especially African-American men, a lot of times you may be targeted, you may be have racial profiling involved. So just stay calm. Listen to the instructions so that you will live and go home to your family. Please do that for our community, for your children, for your mother, your sisters, your brothers. Just put the guns down. Maybe put up your dukes like they did when we were kids. When we were growing up in high school, you'd fight, but you'd live to go home. But it's a different generation. And, we just have to work with our young people to let them know that their consequences are permanent, when you have guns and gun violence.
You're right. Hey,
you can't undo it.
You're right. That's a great message to give. And with that, hey, I want to thank you for coming on here. It's been a true pleasure sitting down here talking, getting to know you.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love everything that I've heard. My key takeaways. You mentioned transparency.
Right.
You say you get in. Transparency is key to any community, to any thing that we're talking politics and what people want. Transparency is number one. You talk bipartisanship.
Right.
I mean, if we're gonna get anything done, you're right. It's not about a color on this side or a color on that side. It's about what's best for the community, coming together, working as one.
Absolutely.
You sit here as a soft-spoken, individual, carry yourself well, but you let it be known too that you're willing to fight for
Absolutely.
what needs to be done, what is right. Somebody that's been in business, in a career field, as a female, I know you've had all kind of extra hurdles.
Oh
Then
my
you throw it
God.
as an African American female.
Absolutely.
You've learned, you know how to fight, how to navigate certain situations. So I don't want anybody to mistake your soft spokenness for weakness.
Right,
Because,
absolutely.
you know, I see that silent strength. And again, just for observation, like I said, your history in the business field, we know what you've been through.
Absolutely.
So, you know, judge for yourself. Like we tell everybody that comes on here, when we bring candidates to you, just this is as sincere as they come. You can make an informed decision when that time comes.
Absolutely.
And as we say on another episode of Fort Wayne Up Close, thank you to OMV and all the production.
Thank
We
you.
are out of here.
Peace.
There we go.
Thank you guys for having me.